Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here on the show to talk about 2 to 3 days worth of NFL news. We have a lot of stuff to go over. Haven't filmed like 2 to 3 days, a lot of stuff from the NFL and the NBA. So I'm going to start with the NFL here. Episode number 102. It's already 102 episodes into this, oh my lord. Yeah, let's first thing we'll talk about is the NFL. They announced that the Texans will forfeit their original 5th round pick in the 2023 draft and be fined $1,750, $175,000 for a salary cap reporting violation per release from the National Football League. They're disciplined for a salary cap reporting violation. They obviously forfeit their 5th round selection, $175,000 fine for a salary cap violation. And it's pursuant to the salary cap requirements in the collective bargaining agreement. Clubs must report any player compensation or benefit. So I guess they didn't report any player compensation or benefit. Following a read, the NFL determined that the club provided then Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson with undisclosed compensation in the form of a membership at an alternate athletic facility in 2020. Kicking a team while they're down. Classic Roger Goodell. I kind of don't know what the second thing means. They paid a private athletic facility for Watson, which should have been reported to the NFL. So I think that's part of why, is because that should have been reported, but it was never reported. So, like, oh no, not their 5th round draft pick. Oh well, poverty organization. So, there was some stuff that came out about Matthew Stafford. Let me find it here. So, we're definitely going to rely on Matthew Stafford. He's definitely one of our pillars, Les Snead, addressing the Rams QB situation today. He's definitely someone we're going to rely on as we remodel this. Says he says remodel because they aren't bulldozing house down. Snead calls Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford weight-bearing walls. But not Jalen, so that tells me Jalen Ramsey might get traded. And he has been scheduled to do a presser just as a heads up for those commenters' wording, as noted in the previous reporting. The Rams did get calls on Stafford and all of their core players. So, Matthew Stafford's not going anywhere. I mean, he's not going anywhere, at least in my opinion. This was the report, that the Rams called teams about possibly trading Super Bowl winning QB Matt Stafford, but I guess it's not going to happen, it sounds like, but I feel like they should trade him for tanking purposes. He's old, he's getting washed, and he's kind of injury prone, so I think they should just trade him, honestly. But it was a pretty strong stance from the Rams GM on their quarterback situation. But they got no choice. I mean, the Rams owe him $50 million. But I feel like they're not going to trade the guy that got him a ring after 1 year of injuries. He could easily bounce back. Maybe what I'm saying is wrong. Maybe he's not washed, but we'll see. A long-time great Bucs linebacker, Lavonte David, come off one of his most productive seasons, is expected to test the free agent market, sources say. A return to Tampa Bay has not been ruled out, but given their cap situation, it will be challenging. Man, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, after Brady retired, I don't think Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be good, man. Can't believe this. The Bucs have just gone broke all of a sudden. He's one of the most underrated inside linebackers, probably of this generation. Was so good for Tampa Bay. Had one of his most productive seasons this year, defensively, and it's just given their cap situation, it's going to be challenging to keep him. The return hasn't been ruled out, though, so, but, I mean, we'll see what happens. He could easily come back. So the NFL reminded clubs in a memo Wednesday after next week's 2-day negotiating period applies only to unrestricted free agents. So for the 6 franchise tag players, including Lamar Jackson, no contact is allowed with other clubs until next Wednesday, March 15. So teams were saying they weren't pursuing Lamar Jackson, were basically abiding by the rules, maybe. Even talking about acquiring another team's players is technically tampering, so I'm pretty sure it's why teams were saying, oh, we're not interested, because if they did, it would be tampering. But it's a complicating factor. If a team signs Lamar Jackson to an offer sheet, Baltimore has 5 days to match, so if a team does offer him, the Baltimore has 5 days to match, that knocks that team essentially out of free agency and loses them the other available quarterbacks, because they are paralyzed in cap, just waiting. Not impossible, but it's hard. So, the Jets made a trade per sources. The Ravens are expected to trade safety Chuck Clark to the Jets in exchange for a late-round draft pick compensation, a starter since 2019 in Baltimore. Clark now has veteran experience in the New York Jets. It should be official when the league year begins. This is the Ravens trade we've all been waiting for. Chuck Clark. But Ravens fans have nothing but great things to say about Chuck Clark. Hearing it's for 7-2, which is insane value. He'll make an impact for their whole defense. He's great at getting guys in position. It's something you won't see on the stat sheet, but he's really good at that. And he's a stud. Great trade. True pro. I love this trade for the Jets. Great pickup. It's a very solid move, just maybe not the one everyone was waiting on. So their Jets defense got a little bit better. They also cleared cap space. They're releasing wide receiver Braxton Berrios after the two sides were not able to come to terms on a restructure for a deal, source said. So he's gonna watch him go back to the Patriots. That won't surprise me. So the Bengals are signing a few of their own reaching deals with linebacker Joe Bachie and cornerback Jalen Davis. Sources say Bachie gets a 1-year deal rather than a restricted free agent tender, and Davis gets a 2-year deal. So they build depth. So Cincinnati building some depth right there. 2 solid players to bring back. Packers grant Aaron Rodgers permission to speak with the Jets. So the Jets flew to California to meet Rodgers. They're regrouping after a successful meeting with Aaron Rodgers. Though they, like all of us, await word on what he'll choose to do, retire or play for the Jets or maybe another team. So he's had a meeting with the Jets, so it was a successful meeting. But we're just going to see whether Aaron Rodgers wants to play next year or he'll retire. So Arizona Cardinals wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins was on the Pat McAfee show, and he admitted that he's been hearing a lot of trade talks on that subject. My understanding is if a trade did happen, he'd be flexible in the last 2 years of his contract rather than shoot for a top-of-the-market deal. So that's crazy. I could definitely see him being a New England Patriot. It would make sense. I could definitely see it happening. Either the Patriots or the Cowboys, I think, would try and make a move for DeAndre Hopkins, get a top elite receiver. So Daniel Jones, the Giants have a deal in place with Daniel Jones, so they got a deal for Daniel Jones. He gets his deal, 4 years and $160 million with $35 million more available in incentives. Saquon Barkley gets the tag, so I think it should have been the other way around. I think Saquon Barkley should have got the money and Daniel Jones with the franchise tag. Just 4 years, $160 million is a lot, especially for Daniel Jones. I mean, they got fleeced Because, I mean, that's just too much for Daniel Jones. I mean, I don't know. It's just a waste of money. And they overpaid literally for a mid-ass quarterback. And the Giants' deal for him were 4 years, $160 million, $35 million more in incentives, $82 million over the first 2 years, $94 million virtually guaranteed at the signing. First year cap number around $19 million. So they got their QB, signed their QB and tagged their running back. Lamar got the non-exclusive. Obviously, we talked about Aaron Rodgers meeting with the Jets. So, got that out of the way. The Ravens officially tagged Lamar Jackson. So the Rams are not using the franchise or transition tag on kicker Matt Gay. Source says one of the most accurate kickers in the league last few years, 60 for 64 in field goal attempts the last two. The 2021 Pro Bowl selection is expected to have significant interest as a free agent. I don't know why they would. I mean, he's been one of the most accurate kickers in the league, 60 64 in field goal attempts the last 2 years. So, I mean, it's kind of an interesting move. The Patriots standout defensive back, Jonathan Jones, with the free agent market, they're not going to use their franchise tag on him. History says that when a really good corner leaves the pass, they generally aren't very good when they go elsewhere. So, he might not be good if he leaves. I just don't know why they wouldn't get rid of cornerbacks, though. I felt they were never in the mix to begin with on them, so. So, though New England does have interest in bringing him back, but I don't think it'll happen. I felt they wanted to use Marcus Jones more, in my opinion. Denard Wilson is the Ravens' new defensive backs coach. I feel like Ravens fans are looking for another announcement soon about Lamar Jackson. So, Falcons free agent pass rusher Lorenzo Carter is headed back into the building in Atlanta. This is 2 days ago. I'm just going over some of the news from like 3 days ago, covering the news from the last 2-3 days. He's set to sign a 2-year deal, sources say, off the free agent board. The Atlanta keeps one of their most productive young players. So the first free agent off the board, non-franchise tag edition. So, Lorenzo Carter, I mean, whatever. I mean, it's a decent move, I guess. The Chiefs won't be tagging left tackle Orlando Brown, and they are releasing pass rusher Frank Clark. Obviously, Brown, he's going to become a free agent on March 15th. I didn't expect them to bring Orlando Brown back, because he's really regressed. He was bad this year. I don't even know how he got the Pro Bowl. And Frank Clark's kind of surprising to me. But they got cap space now, so we'll see what happens, what they do with that cap space. Saints get their guy as Derek Carr finally lands in New Orleans. 4-year, $150 million contract, $100 million in total guarantees. Falcons a decent pickup, but I don't feel like it's an elite, an elite pickup. Like, Derek Carr's decent, but he's just not as good as he used to be. But yeah, I mean, I guess a decent move. I mean, it's an upgrade over Jameis Winston, but it's not the greatest upgrade. Seahawks and Pro Bowl quarterback Geno Smith are finally in a new multi-year contract, 3 years, $105 million. Pretty sure I already covered that. So yeah, that's all the news. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. Till next time, Peace.